I think, I don't know if you have it little dogs or just dogs, but it's little dogs. Both of them are little dogs. But they do it different. Let the children first be filled. But her retort is great. She's got the great wise guy retort. Yeah, even the, and we love this. I mean, this, don't we all love this? Everyone loves this. Even the dogs eat the crumbs, eat of the children's crumbs under the table. Watch that language. Eat of the children's crumbs under the table. Matthew has it differently. See why you have to put them both together and watch them? Every word is absolutely important. You have to watch it like a hawk. So, not paralleled and not surprisingly in Luke or John. But she said, yea, Lord, even the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from the master's table. Right? We're going to encounter this again in Luke, but in a completely different sense. That's the key to how the Gospels work. That's the key to everything in my view. Which is why in my book I have one chapter called Do Not Throw Holy Things to Dogs. And then I have another one, I used to have it titled Even the Dogs Eat the Crumbs Under the Table. And so on and so forth. Where does Jesus say don't throw holy things to dogs or pearls to swine, for they will trample them with their feet? And I'm very important to watch the feet imagery. Where's that? Matthew's Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5 something or other, or 7. Sermon on the Mount is Matthew 5 to 7. Not paralleled in the other Gospels. We haven't done Matthew's Sermon on the Mount, but it's there. If one of you go back and can find that for me while I'm going forward, we will read it. I don't have time to shuffle back, find it for me, and we will read it. Because these are all a cluster of materials.
Matthew 7.
Read it. Oh, okay. When first refers to read it, you know. These are all a cluster of materials. So let's go back to Matthew here. And cast it to the dogs. And then he says in Mark, go your way, the demon is gone out of your daughter. And she went and found the demon had gone. And he went to the borders of Tyre and Sidon, and he came into the Sea of Galilee through the midst of the borders of the Decapolis. Well, my friends, who's ever writing that has no idea of Palestinian geography. You don't go from the borders of Tyre and Sidon to the Sea of Galilee through the Decapolis. You go from Tyre and Sidon right to the Sea of Galilee. You don't go around, or maybe that's just the route he took to do a lot of curing and stuff, I don't know. But, the Decapolis is on the other side of the Sea of Galilee, out in Jordan as far as Ammon. It's called I forget how many cities of the Decapolis. I guess 10 cities because it's Decapolis. The 10 cities of the Decapolis. Ammon, Jerash, Pella. I can't name them all. I've got pictures of a few of them in my book. But look here in Matthew, what comes into play again? Oh, woman, great is your faith. There we go. You're totally Paulinized. I'm just overwhelmed by your faith. Let it be done as you will. You think Jesus is going to change his whole program if he's only going to the house of Israel because a woman makes a clever statement to him? And that's what this is presented as being. And who's found that don't cast holy things to dogs yet? You got it?
Yeah, Matthew 7:6.
Right, read it to us, will you?
Well,
You lost it again. You need both here.
I'm following you.
Yeah, I know. Don't follow me yet. Go ahead.
Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to the swine.
Say it again. Do not what?
Throw your pearls.
No, the first one.
Do not give dogs what is sacred.
No, do not give holy things to dogs. Okay. And do not throw your pearls to swine. Yeah, go ahead.
If you do, they may trample them under their feet
Right.
and then turn and tear you to pieces.
Okay, so don't cast or throw or give holy things to dogs. But now, the upshot of this is, but even the dogs eat the crumbs under the table. Nice retort. So we have a double Jesus here. a Jesus who says you shouldn't throw holy things to dogs, and then a Jesus who is caught up by a clever Canaanite woman's retort. This is directed towards the Gentile mission people to please them and so on. And then, of course, Jesus concludes in Matthew. That's why when people say Matthew is the most Jewish of the Gospels, I say no, that is not true. In any case, all this is in between our feeding episodes, don't forget. The feeding of the 5 and the 4,000 and the final recapitulation of them. O woman, great is your faith. Let it be done. And her daughter was healed from that hour. Jesus departed and came nigh the Sea of Galilee, and he went up on a mountain there. Now here, it's not the same as Mark. He goes, Mark has him go through the borders of the Decapolis. And the great multitudes came to him again, the lame, the blind, the dumb, the maimed, many others. These are all the banned groups of people from the temple in Jerusalem, because you couldn't go into the temple with these sorts of problems. So now these are the people writing this know this. They're conciliating these groups, saying, "Oh, that's nonsense." And they cast them down at his feet. Here's the casting, again, I think, used again, and again, and the feet. I think it says, I have to look at the Greek. Let me look at the Greek. What's the actual line here? 30. And let's say, 30, the dumb, the maimed. Let's see what the Greek says. Yeah. No, this is not casting. This is another word, flung them down at his feet. But the feet is there. So we always have to be careful. Keep these things, it's not Bala, it's another parallel route. Inasmuch as the multitude wondered when they saw the dumb speaking, the blind, the maimed whole, the lame walking, the blind seeing, and they gloried the God of Israel. These are the mighty wonders and works in the Gospels. In Mark 2, they bring the deaf and so on. They lay him at his feet, and things progress from there. Let's move along now. And then in Matthew 15 and Mark 8, we have the second feeding episode, which continues on to the explanation of it, and which is the condemnation of the leaven of the Pharisees, right? But if you go back to Matthew 15, in the middle of these things, and he called the multitudes in line 10 to him about the dietary laws, and the Pharisees were offended, and Jesus answered, and so on and so forth. It's another one saying basically, beware the leaven of the Pharisees. I don't have the actual quote here. I'm not sure if it's in Mark or not, but I don't have time to do that. I want to go over to Luke 16.